So when taping any section of cable, you're going to start out by taping the first end like so, and then pull it nice and snug and tape down the second end. Now I'm doing this section in caution tape, just the caution gaff tape that we have, and because it's in front of the door. Once you have these two tacked down and straight, start your tape. As you go, just make sure that your cable is centered. Should be minor adjustments if you've taped it down snugly. This is a can light. This is a can light cord. We do not tape can light cords. These power bars, we don't tape the power bar cords. If you need it to stay in position, you may tack it in position.
But don't be tacky.
Like so. That way that it will stay where you need it to stay, but we do not tape down these unless they are in a walkway. If they are in a walkway, then we do get to tape them down with caution tape. Okay, so you see this joint between this extension cord and this power bar? See how it's in front of the door? This does not work. We cannot have any extension cords plugged together, or extension cords into power bars, or extension cords into can lights even. They cannot be in the doorway. They have to be moved to the side so that these are flat in front of doorways and in walkways. You see here, we started out one direction, we've turned a corner. So we want to make sure that that is secure. And we're also transitioning, so we've got this secured at both ends, tacked like we did every other section.
Why are you doing this in black?
And this is not a walkway or a doorway. So if it is not a walkway or a doorway, it is always done in just black.
We're like this way. See how it's in front of the doors? Like we explained earlier? It has to be caution.
So
You see how she's laying the cable right in the middle, or in the best she can in the middle? It helps keep the cord best attached to the floor.
oh wait, hang on, we've run into a walkway. So let's go ahead and back up here, because we need to make sure that we are transitioning at the appropriate times from the black to the caution tape. We're not doubling up, we just run one or the other depending on the position. You can use slight overlap to make sure that it's secure. And see, I double check and make sure that my corners are secure so that they don't come up. I'm And also go back and make sure that any place you've taped down has been secured properly to the floor. Next section I have here is to show you how to work with multiple cables. As you can see here, I've got 4 different cables. And sometimes when you get multiple cables, your gaff tape is not quite wide enough to really stick to the floor and cover all of the tape, or all of the cables. So, you see here how this cable has run over the top and it's on the wrong side from where it started. With multiple cables, you want to make sure that when you lay them flat on one end, when you tack them down on the other end, you're making sure they're nice and snug so that they lay flat and that they are tacked down on the opposite end in the same order. That will keep them laying as flat to the ground and as safe as possible. Now, since we have multiple cables here and one piece is not going to secure it properly, you take it and you run cables. And as you're laying them down, verify that they're staying flat on the right order. So you did one side. And then we'll proceed to do the other side. And that is completely secured, but not a whole lot of extra tape being used. If you're doing this in a walkway, for example, if we were to be running from the front row of the chairs to the monitors that are in front of the stage, you would use gaff tape. So, let's go ahead and make sure there's quite a few cables here.
See how she's going through each cable and organizing them to make sure that they all line up along the whole length of the cable. That is what we're looking for, is making sure that all the cables are lined up and not crossing over each other to cause bumps that could be tripped on while people are walking.
Now sometimes in longer strips, you'll notice that they start to spread or they start to pop up off the ground and go over top of each other, like this one. Even though it was tight, it still really doesn't want to stay in position. So you can take near that area and add another small piece of tape to keep it in position when you run your long strips. And when taping these long stretches, you want to make sure that you double tape them. Since this one is going from the front row, you want to keep an eye on your cables so they all lay flat and tight together. Sometimes they like to work with each other. This is between the front row and that monitor. You want to make sure that you are using the caution tape, not the black. And with any of the multiple cables that are too wide to really stick to the ground, I want to make sure you use 2 strips.